Roll Tide.
Roll Tide, roll.
Roll Tide.
Okay, y'all, so in my bathroom, I have my counter, right? And then it kind of does like a little loop. And there's my makeup counter that's attached to my counter.
I saw it. So pretty.
And, y'all think, I have a drawer right here that I can just put up a lot of makeup. So do you think I should buy like a big refrigerator to put on top?
Yeah.
What do you think? Yeah. Or do you think that looks cluttered?
I think it looks clever. I would buy like separate drawers, like you know, places you can put out drawers. Why is it? Sorry. Okay, it's like a little bit.
Is it good? I haven't tried it yet. What is it?
Wow. So today is our phase party, which we're wearing pajamas. We brought food, and we made it into a surprise baby shower. And she's about to open her present, and she didn't really have much, so we all threw her a baby shower. Yes, tried. Wow.
I'm telling you, those little tabby things are just so cute.
Okay, that is cute.
Wait, what the fuck do I need to shoot, bro?
Snake, respond! Snake? Snake!
Yeah. Wait, no, you picked it up. I gotta say, I'm in the mood for a little bit more with that.
What the fuck?
Admitted that.
Guys. What? Y'all know the new Snapchat update you can see when people have sex?
Yes. I tested it out earlier.
It is?
Yes, but you have to have Snapchat Premium.
Yeah, I have it. I can see when people have sex. But when it's on update,
You can like watch them.
let me send you something. Look, there's the Snapchat. Go left. Now, ready? Go left. Okay, but you have to be sitting there. Like,
Yeah.
I thought you just didn't give them a notification like
No.
they have like you have to be like.
No, their eyes, it's little eyes that pop up and slide the chat over.
Passed. All non-essential personnel report to the holds in 10 minutes' time for the scheduled briefing session with the Commandant. You are ordered to continue manning your posts until that time.
I don't like staggers.
Look at first. First.
This one is amazing.
I like this one.
I think whatever you go next, really. Yeah, 4. 1. Don't let them just like really go through picking up. No, I'm gonna leave it 4 because I'm doing streaming. You have seen that reviews?
Me? I thought you were friends.
Actually, Nora texted me and said she needs to get jeans from someone, so I'm just gonna go with her tonight.
That foot this time around?
No, I'd rather cuddle up on the couch with you tomorrow and then have to go to the summer. What's that, you
Freeze. Move!
Crashing.
Colonel, we have sealed the stern hatch. The lift is also under our control. Sir, the Marine Commander has started his speech already.
We will complete the preparations before the end of the speech.
All communications to the halls have been severed. No one is aware of our presence.
Let no one down into the halls until we are out.
Yes, sir. We will secure your exit, with our lives if necessary.
There is one more thing.
Yes, sir.
My daughter, keep her safe.
Yes, sir. Who was that? Who goes there? Oh, Shalashaska. Why are you here? We thought you were with the Colonel. What the?
The Colonel will be joining you soon, comrade.
Snake, are you in yet? Have you made it?
Longer than I expected. We've already passed the Verrazano Bridge.
All right, we'll use another recovery point.
They may be planning to change course.
What?
The exits to the deck are all sealed.
What are they planning?
If they get Metal Gear, we're going right off the fringe.
You're all familiar with the Shadow Moses.
The men down here are definitely Marines.
The current state of nuclear...
If the deck is sealed off, they have no way of knowing that the ship's been taken over.
I'm not interested in fighting these guys. The weapons won't do me much good here.
Can you see Metal Gear?
No. I'll have to go around to the bow. They have some serious defenses here. I doubt the recent arrivals want to blast their way through the Marines either.
Wonder where they're headed.
I don't know. Not the beach, that's for sure.
Okay, Snake. Let's go over this one more time. Use this camera to get photographic evidence of the Metal Gear prototype. Now do your thing and take pictures that speak louder than the government's plausible denials. We need 4 shots. Metal Gear from the front right, and front left, and a close-up of the Marine Corps marking.
Marking?
There should be a Marine's insignia on the body of Metal Gear. Just let someone try explaining away a clear shot of that.
All right.
There's actually one little thing.
Just spit it out. I'm used to things going wrong.
It looks like someone's monitoring our transmission.
Who?
I don't have a clue. All they're doing is watching. It would creep me out less if they tried to interfere with our communications.
Could it have something to do with that cipher we saw?
Maybe. I've switched the encryption protocol for our burst transmission for now. What I want to do is use a different method for sending these photos, just in case.
Instead of using the codec?
Exactly. There's a workstation in the southeast corner of the block where Metal Gear is housed. I've made arrangements so that you can send the pictures from the machine.
Arrangements?
I hitched a ride on Link 16 into U.S. military's proprietary network. Managed to get into that workstation and overwrote a part of the system software so I could remote install a little app I wrote.
Why bother with anything that complicated?
No, it's pretty simple, really. Look, all you have to do is stand in front of the machine and push the action button. The app will automatically launch and download the image data from the camera, split the files, and encrypt them individually. The data packets can then masquerade as...
Okay. So all I have to do is push the action button in front of the computer once I have the pictures, right?
Well, sure, if you put it that way. And one more thing. The Commandant's already begun his speech, but you need to get the pictures before he's done talking. Otherwise, they'll spot you, okay?
How much time do I have?
I hacked into his personal files and took a look at the text of that speech. I'd say you have 7 more minutes. Longer if he throws in a joke or two.
A 7-minute time limit, huh?
Remember, Snake, just the photos, okay?
With these kinds of odds, I won't be making any sudden moves. But that doesn't mean we can just let Metal Gear be hijacked.
Okay, but first the photos.
All right, we'll deal with the rest when we get there.
Stay low.
At the moment, every industrialized nation on the globe knows the specifications for Metal Gear.
What's my hot take on the Israel-Palestine conflict? What's my just shooting from the hip, totally going to cut to the heart of things take? My take is it's very complicated. Some people, however, think it's really, really simple. And so they're giving their 60-second hot takes.
I keep getting comments that if I was in Gaza, I would be killed for being queer. And first off, there are queer people in Gaza, and they're being killed for being Palestinian. Secondly, I don't need to move across the ocean to experience violence for being queer. I literally had to evacuate my place 6 months ago because people were so violent and
Worse yet, so do a number of rogue states. They are
Wait, is that valid?
deploying their own Metal Gear force to compete with the U.S.'s nuclear strike capability.
Oh, bro, this is like a throat.
Swarm of these Metal Gear derivatives.
Yes, great.
We initiated development of Metal Gear Ray as a countermeasure to these pirated weapons forces. The only thing that can stand up to a Metal Gear is, of course, another Metal Gear. With Ray, the hundreds, if not thousands, of Metal Gears that exist all over the world are no longer a threat.
Wait. What?
The blind rush to nuclear proliferation will be contained, and it will be the Marine Corps and our Ray that will accomplish this. This weapon will render all other Metal Gears obsolete. Nations building up their own...
Snake, respond! Snake! Snake!
At the moment, every industrialized nation on the globe knows the specifications for Metal Gear. Worse yet, so do a number of rogue states. They are all working on deploying their own Metal Gear force to compete with the U.S.'s nuclear strike capability. The world is about to see a swarm of these Metal Gear derivatives. We initiated development of Metal Gear Ray as a countermeasure to these pirated weapons forces. The only thing that can stand up to a Metal Gear is, of course, another Metal Gear. With Ray, hundreds, if not thousands, of Metal Gears that exist all over the world are no longer a threat. The blind rush to nuclear proliferation will be contained, and it will be the Marine Corps and our Ray that will accomplish this. This weapon will render all other Metal Gears obsolete. Nations building up their own Metal Gear force will think twice about their nuclear strategy in the light of the military dominance spelled out by Ray.
Good.
Balance of power will mean a new world order. And we, the Marine Corps, will play a central role in its military affairs. Some say that the strategic importance of aircraft carriers will be reduced by the completion of Ray. The opposition from the Navy is an undeniable fact. There is a lot of pressure from Navy brass, especially those with submarine and air background. Not to mention
You want to save, Snake? Hey, Snake. What's hardest won, most easily lost? It's time. Get it? Amazing how relevant these Chinese proverbs still are. Once the moment's gone, it's gone. Except for daylight savings time, of course. That extra hour to do anything you like with every autumn. Gotta love it. Then again, you lose an hour every spring, so I guess the proverbs are right. Wow, they thought of everything.
Did they even have daylight savings back then?
Of course not. They knew how to save time. We're the ones that need to be tricked into it.
Yeah, but you said...
The moment never returns, Snake. Let's not waste it on idle questions.
Okay.
From a major player. But this project is vital to the Marine Corps. Ours is not the only military project. Devoted to Metal Gear development, but it cannot be more different in nature from the Navy's. Theirs is a program that will add fuel to the uncontrolled fire of nuclear proliferation. It is a fact that players in favor of such a policy are attempting to derail our...
Snake, respond! Snake? Snake!
Ours is not the only military project devoted to Metal Gear development, but it cannot be more different in nature from the Navy's. Theirs is a program that will add fuel to the uncontrolled fire of nuclear proliferation. It is a fact that players in favor of such a policy are attempting to derail our own work. I have a daughter, and it is my greatest wish never to have or her children. Metal Gear Ray is amphibious. Unlike the Army's Rex, it can cruise deep underwater. Move in.
Snake, respond! Snake? Snake!
Hello, everyone. This is Criminal Profiler Pat Brown, and today we're going to go back almost 100 years to a very famous case in the UK. It is the murder of Julia Wallace, and it is considered like the perfect mystery, or the perfect murder, whichever way you want to look at it. And there's a lot of people who've written mysteries, P.D. James and others who have looked at this and come up with their theories of the crime. And it is a fascinating one. Once I got into it, there were things that struck me, and stuck out to me so clearly. And I'm like, why do I not see these things being mentioned as to who is the more likely person to have committed the murder of Julia? So, let's go to this. All right, now. Let me start with the players in this and the basic information. I want to say hello to everybody who is in the chat room. This was originally going to be a Sunday show, but now it's a Monday show. You can see and hear me clearly. Well, thank you, Olga. I appreciate that because you know how many times things go wrong. It's so much fun. Lisa N is here, which is very early for you because I do believe you should be asleep. In your part of the world, Sarah is here. Kurtz is here. Let's see what else. Lou Bell is here. Did I say Sarah already? Mary is here. Aisha is here. Let's see what else. Mary is here. I'm going to start repeating people's names. Anna is here. Going back now. And lots of people. Sky Rick is here as well. Jill is here. Lou Bell is here. And I am up toward the top. Wendy is here. And if I missed your name, I'm so sorry. All my shows are live to the people who are on Patreon. If you'd like to be at the live shows, 8 shows a month, or case shows like today, where I delve into analyzing a case specifically. And then I'll have my hangouts once a week, which I go over all kinds of things that you suggest to me. Sometimes it's the news, sometimes it's a case that isn't worth a whole show, but it's interesting. That's $5 a month. Support the educational channel. Please do just subscribe to the channel. That's free. Hit the bell for notifications. Say like it and all that stuff. So anyway, that's enough of that. I want to get to this case because it really intrigued me. And I want to tell you first where I got my information from, because that's always important. A lot of times people do shows and they don't say where they got their stuff from. All right. So this is Julia Wallace, by the way. This is her husband, who was charged, convicted, and then the case was overturned, and he was found innocent after that. And I'm going to get into the interesting issue of this is one of the first cases where behind the scenes the judges decided the jury was wrong. And I find that fascinating. And this is the other fellow who is a suspect. He's a 22-year-old sort of actor insurance guy that knew this guy. And he is going to be a factor in this case as well. So we have and these two guys essentially are the only, I would say, the only major suspects. Okay, this guy is so we have Wallace, this is Julie Wallace, right? This is the husband, and his full name is it's William Herbert Wallace. A lot of people just call him Herbert Wallace, and they usually use Herbert, not William. So I guess he wasn't into the William part, but his name was William Herbert Wallace. They both lived in Liverpool. On a street called Liverpool. All right, and the other suspect is this fellow, and he is. His name is Richard Gordon Parry. Okay, Richard Gordon Parry. Some people have thrown out a bunch of other suspects like the next door neighbors and just decided for no reason to go and kill this woman. Most of it's all nonsense. So we're looking at these two guys. Either her husband killed her, or this guy who knew both of them killed her. And there's a quick slide as far as yes, he actually did it. And the judge was going to throw out the verdict and let him go free. And there are some people think that guy was never guilty, and this was the guy who's more likely to have done it. So I'm going to get into what the evidence was that supported the husband doing it, that supported Parry doing it, and which one I think makes a lot more sense 100 years later. So it's an absolutely fascinating case. But it has something you can work with. And there's a couple things in this case which I haven't seen anybody point out, and it drives me crazy because to me it's like these are the clues. These are the true clues in this case, but why are we not acknowledging them? So anyway, let's get to this. Let me do the super quick Wikipedia version, and then I'll get into some of the details of the case. In case you've never heard of this case before. All right, what is the crime? All right, Wallace was age 52. He was attending a meeting of the chess club. He played chess, not extremely well. He was a mediocre chess player, and this is going to factor into, by the way, into my personal opinion of what kind of guy he was. All right. And I'm going to read from his diary a little later, and I find this illuminating, all right? But he was a chess player. He went and played in this chess club. All right, so he was attending this meeting of this chess club at the Liverpool Central Chess Club on the evening of Monday, 19th of January, 1931. This was Monday. To play a scheduled chess game.
Wait, do you even really face true Metal Gear and MGS?
Metal Gear.
Sahelanthropus Ray Rex. I don't know what that means.
Metal Gear Ray is amphibious. Unlike the Army's Rex, it can cruise deep underwater, move in undetected, and make its landing on any shoreline. Its onboard Joint Tactical Information Distribution System identifies targets with unerring accuracy and takes them out with massive firepower. It is the ultimate weapon. It is yours to guard. I'd like you all to think about what that means.
Good.
Let's do a little stretching, shall we? Right. Left.
Snake, respond! Snake! Snake!
Metal Gear Ray is amphibious, unlike the Army's Rex. It can cruise deep underwater, move in undetected, and make its landing on any shoreline.
Good.
Its onboard Joint Tactical Information Distribution System identifies targets with unerring accuracy and takes them out with massive firepower. It is the ultimate weapon, and it is yours to guard. I'd like you all to think about what that means. You must be tense.
Good.
Let's do a little stretching, shall we? Left. Front. Up. Left. Up. Left. Up. To move on, this new model of Metal Gear is codenamed Ray, after the great Manta Ray. Our Ray has a sting that nature never gave the Manta. With this latest Metal Gear, we can rule the sea and land as we never have before. We have intelligence that there are anti-Metal Gear terrorists planning to target the ship.
Good.
Intruder to the right! Intruder in the back! Intruder to the right!
Snake, respond! Snake! Snake!
Metal Gear Ray is amphibious. Unlike the Army's Rex, it cruise deep underwater, move in undetected and make its landing on any shoreline. Its onboard Joint Tactical Information Distribution System identifies targets with
Okay, we're finally there.
So,
I'll explain how to use... Once you've got the photos, use the workstation in the southeast end of that room to...
Erring accuracy and takes them out with massive firepower. It is the ultimate weapon, and it is yours to guard. I'd like you all to think about what that means. You must be tense. Let's do a little stretching, shall we? Left.
So, any codec moments from you, Snake? The first image is... This is hilarious! This rules. But we can't use it. Get the shots we need. The next...
Right. Down. Front. Left. Right.
Snake, respond! Snake! Snake!
Metal Gear Ray is amphibious, unlike the Army's Rex. It can cruise deep underwater, move in undetected, and make its landing on any shoreline. Its onboard Joint Tactical Information Distribution System identifies targets with unerring accuracy and takes them out with massive firepower. It is the ultimate weapon, and it is yours to guard. I'd like you all to think about what that means. You must be tense. Let's do a little stretching, shall we? Left. This new model of Metal Gear is codenamed Ray, after the great Manta Ray. Our Ray has a sting that nature never gave the Manta. With this latest Metal Gear, we can rule the sea and land as we never have before. George Sears surrendered his presidency in the aftermath of Shadow Moses. The official reason given did not, of course, include the development of Metal Gear Rex and next-generation nuclear warheads. But even you would have heard rumors that he was forced to resign after the failed cover-up costing his influence in the political community. This new model of Metal Gear is codenamed Ray, after the great Manta Ray. Our Ray has a sting that nature never gave the Manta.
Good.
Latest Metal Gear, we can rule the sea and land as we never have before.
Time to save? The Chinese have a saying. Those who are lost never question a path, and a drowning man doubts not the shallows. And it means that you need to make use of other people's help. Otherwise, you could be in trouble. If you're lost, you don't even know whether a road you come across is a right one. And, what's the difference between shallow and deep if you've already drowned, right? Anyway, the point is that help is always a good thing to accept. So make good use of the codec.
Look, this stuff seems nothing like what Mei Ling used to talk about.
Hey,
Yeah.
she couldn't do better herself.
Ugh.
I seem to be repeating myself. Chalk it up to old age.
Okay, I'm receiving the images. The first image is... Okay, this works. It's a great front view. The last one is... This is great. The Marines lettering shows up really well. Okay, now we have all the photos. Snake, the speech is about to wind up. Forget the photos and get out of there now.
We, the Marines, will lead the to charge into a new world order with Metal Gear Ray. That is all. Dismissed.
Excellent speech, my friend.
Who the?
Gift of the silver tongue. They say it's the mark of a good officer. End of a liar. Americans are too in love with the sound of their own voice to speak the truth.
Identify yourself.
I am Shalashaska, also called Revolver Ocelot.
What do you want?
This machine will be quite useful.
What are you planning to do? Steal this thing?
Steal? No, I'm taking it back. Nobody move. Understood? This ship now carries enough Simtex on its key structural points to blow it out of the water at the touch of this button. That's right. No one has to die needlessly. Get a move on.
What do you intend to do with Ray? Sell it on the streets?
I was raised in Snezinsk, formerly known as Chelyabinsk 70, the nuclear research outpost.
What are you talking about?
After the Cold War ended, my home was bought out by the Americans.
Is there a point to this sad story?
Now you would understand. Land, friends, dignity, all sold to the highest bidder, the United States of America. Even the technology that gave birth to these weapons is Russian, developed by us.
What do you intend to do?
Russia will rise again. And Ray is the key.
I regret to inform you that I have no intention of selling Metal Gear. As I said, I came to take it back.
Double crossing both sides. Medicine with crossed.
Yes, returned to the Patriots.
The Lale Lule Lo? How's that possible?
Ocelot, have you sold us out?
I was never in your employ, Kurlukovich.
Are you still in league with Solidus?
No hard feelings, Colonel. Mother Russia can rot for all I care.
Since when, Ocelot? When did you turn?
I'm glad you noticed, comrade. I abandoned her during the Cold War. Metal Gear only has room for one! Lukovich, you and your daughter will die here. Damn you!
With fight revolver also?
Sergei, looks like you were long overdue for retirement.
Traitorous dog!
Show's over. If you wish to live, I suggest you run now. This ship is still in the lower New York harbor. You may yet make it to shore if you swim for your life.
It's been a while, brother.
Who are you?
Liquid.
You know who I am.
Liquid?
Not so young anymore, eh, Snake? You're drowning in time. I know what it's like, brother. No wonder Naomi passed you over for the Fox Dive program. Ouch! Get out of my mind, Liquid! The price of physical prodigy. Few more years and you'll be another dead clone of the old man. Our raw materials are vintage, brother. Big Boss was in his late 50s when they created his copies. But I live on through this arm!
Liquid's on.
going down, Snake, with this tanker!
What the fuck?
Proceeding as planned, sir.
It's very intentional that I think.
Yes, at the location we discussed. Yes, I have photographic evidence of Snake on the scene. The cipher was most useful. I look forward to tomorrow morning's news flash. I would say the Marine Corps' plans are on indefinite hold. Yes, of course, Mr. President.
Mr. President.
Snake, do you remember the sinking of that tanker 2 years ago?
Of course.
Terrorists blow a hole in an oil tanker full of crude barely 20 miles off the shore of Manhattan. Your classic nightmare. It didn't take long for the government to put an oil fence around the whole mess. And then that massive offshore cleanup facility went up inside.
The big shell. I hear the cleanup isn't quite over yet.
It takes time. But in the meantime, the shell's become a landmark, a symbol of environmental protection.
Teams Alpha and Bravo. Deploy at the big shell as scheduled.
Approximately 6 hours ago, the big shell was seized by an armed group.
Do we have an ID?
Former members of the Navy SEAL Special Anti-Terrorist Training Squad Dead Cell. Russian private army members may also be involved. It's a highly trained group, and they have the big shell under complete control.
It's somewhere near the Verrazano Bridge. Well, it looks like,
What are their demands?
$30 billion.
Other biz.
$30 billion? What makes them think they can get that much?
There was a government-sponsored tour going on at the big shell that day.
Hostages, huh?
A VIP from one of the major conservation groups, and one from our own government. The most important person in a sense.
The most important person?
James Johnson.
The president?
Unless the demands are met, the terrorists intend to blow the big shell out of the water.
And the crude will ignite, turning the Manhattan Harbor into an inferno.
That's not the worst-case scenario. If the chlorides being used to decontaminate the seawater go up with the oil, toxins containing catastrophic levels of dioxins will be released. In other words, the bay's ecosystem will be wiped out, and the sea will turn into a toxic soup for centuries, becoming the worst environmental disaster in history. You have 2 mission objectives. 1, infiltrate the offshore decontamination facility Big Shell and safeguard the president and other hostages. And 2, disarm the terrorists by any means necessary. You should know that SEAL Team 10 is also conducting a rescue operation.
Is this a joint effort?
No. Foxhound remains a covert body. Don't alert them to your presence. That is an order.
This is Snake. I'm now inside Strut A of Shell 1.
How are things?
We're in luck. Looks like there are no sentries posted here.
What's the visibility?
The lights on the plant struts are functioning. I won't have to use the IR goggles.
Any problems?
There was a brand new hole cut through the oil fence. There's someone else besides me that wanted to get in badly.
That's not possible.
What about SEAL Team 10?
They landed on the roof of the Big Shell as planned. And by the way, Snake, we're changing your code name for all following communication.
What's wrong with Snake?
Just a precaution. You are now designated Raiden. All right, Raiden. You've already covered infiltration and VR training.
I've completed 300 missions in VR. I feel like some kind of legendary mercenary.
Okay, we'll skip that part. Make sure nobody sees you. If you need to, contact me by codec. The frequency is 140.85. When you want to use the codec, push the select button. When we need to reach you, contact you, the codec will beep. When you hear that noise, press the select button. The codec's receiver directly stimulates the small bones of your ear. No one but you will be able to hear it.
All right. I'll contact you if anything changes.
First, make your way to the upper section of the Big Shell.
How do I get up to the next level?
There's an elevator at the far end of that area. Use that.
Sounds good.
Your new sneaking suit uses electrofiber technology, a byproduct of fiber optics research. The texture isn't far removed from rubber, but the material protects against a wide range of toxic substances. The suit itself has a wide array of built-in sensors. It is referred to as smart skin in military R&D. Data about damage to different regions of the body, including blood loss, is exchanged between the suit and the intravenous nanomachines to create a feedback system.
There's a lot of pressure on my torso.
Relax. The suit applies varying pressure to major internal organs to maximize performance and safeguard their functions. They call this the skull suit in Foxhound.
Skull suit seems appropriate somehow.
The hatch with a circular handle will open into the elevator area. Locate the hatch first.
Copy that. Moving on to main mission objectives.
Stay. Good. Oh, look at that table. Motherfucking jump into it. I'm staying from the jump in, boy. Nope. Fucking yeah, yeah.
Right. You should be used to the controls by now. Proceed with your mission. The clock is ticking. Get on the elevator on the far side of this area and get to the upper section of the big shell.
I've sighted an enemy sentry. AN-94 and a Makarov. Those grenades, all his equipment, is Russian-made.
Must be a Grlukovich man.
Grlukovich?
A Russian private army that was in line to work with the Shadow Moses takeover group 4 years ago.
What's their stake in this one?
They must have made a deal, an arrangement with the terrorists. They become a band of mercenaries, an army without a country.
Thank you, John.
Colonel, there's definitely another intruder in here besides me.
That's not a possibility.
Not a team. Looks like a solo job.
One man?
We may not know who he is, but he managed to take care of every sentry in the area. They're all out cold. Whoever he is, he's got some skills.
We need to get an ID. But for now, you can take advantage of the situation and get to work. There's a terminal in front of the elevator. A node.
Did you say nerd?
Not nerd. Node.
Oh.
Use the node to gain access to the Big Shell's facilities network.
Then what?
Pull up the map of the structure. That'll let you activate the Soliton radar.
The Soliton radar? True. That radar came in useful during VR training.
A radar system uses biological magnetic fields as input. These estimated enemy positions are projected onto a map according to reference points collected via GPS signals and field personnel reports. We need to get to the map through the Big Shell's node to put this data processing to practical use. The node unit is about 3 feet high, should be colored blue. Each area has at least one.
How do I gain access?
Just push the action button in front of the node. The nanomachines in your body will take care of the security clearance and allow you access to the node. Complete the procedure before those sentries gain consciousness. If they spot you, you won't be able to gain access for a while. Stay on guard.
Got it.
I think I'm too mean. I think I'm so that was a mistake on her part.
Good work, Raiden.
The radar should be functioning now?
Remember your VR training sessions. The tool is exactly the same one. It maps the terrain as well as the position of enemy personnel. The bright dot in the middle is you, Raiden. The red dots are your enemies, and the blue cone shape represents their field of vision. Your radar isn't affected by the weather, but if you're discovered by an enemy, you won't be able to use it. It gets jammed easily, I'm afraid. It's all made from currently existing technology. You won't be able to use it in an area with strong harmonic resonance, so be careful. The Big Shell's layout map should now be available after touching the Start button.
How do I save the mission data?
I've set aside a proprietary frequency for saves, and an analyst to work on the data too.
Jack, is everything all right?
What are you doing here?
Jack, can you hear me?
Rose, you're not supposed to be involved. What's going on?
Jack, I'm a part of this mission.
Colonel, what the hell is going on?
Raiden, meet the mission analyst. She'll be overseeing the data saving and support.
Why her?
The Foxhound analyst that was supposed to take part in this mission was in an accident. Rosemary was brought in as a replacement.
An accident?
And according to the files, she knows you better than anybody else.
Rose may be in the service, but an intelligence analyst is no field officer.
Not to worry. She has our technical staff at her disposal.
She's never been a part of a field mission. This is insane.
I have my own reasons for selecting her for this mission, soldier.
Colonel, I fail to see...
I know your VR training performance in and out, but sometimes that's not enough. You're familiar with the Shadow Moses incident?
You know I covered it in VR.
If there's a crucial tactical detail that case taught us, it was the power of the operative's will to survive.
I was trained to fight. My personal feelings have no place in a mission.
We've learned that it doesn't work that way. And on the field, you need all the help you can get.
Jack, you're stuck with me whether you like it or not.
Rose.
You need someone to watch your back. But I have conditions that need to be met, Colonel.
What is it?
I'll perform my duties and save that mission data, but I'm aware that technically I'm not part of the mission control team. After all, I'm just a normal girl who's worried about Jack. But that means, Colonel, that I am not required to follow your orders outside of my immediate duties. Jack is not simply a field personnel for me to track. His safety comes first to me, not the mission. And because of that, I will be monitoring and keeping a record of every communication you have with him, Colonel.
Given the circumstances, you're free to do what you see fit.
Hey, I prefer this to being kept in the dark waiting.
I'd like to make a request, if I may.
Of course.
His handle is Raiden. For the duration of the mission, could you call him that?
Yes, sir. All right, Raiden. Let me know when you're ready to turn in a save. The proprietary save frequency is 140.96. I just switched frequencies. Jack?
What?
Do you know what day it is tomorrow?
April 30th. Is there something special about it?
Isn't there?
I can't remember. I'm sorry.
Oh well. I'll keep trying till I hear the answer. I'm gonna let you go now, Jack. Take care.
This is so stupid. Thank you, Ava.
Raiden, the enemy sentry is regaining consciousness.
Be careful, Jack.
Find somewhere to hide until the elevator arrives. You must stay out of sight.
What's up, Jack? Hang in there.